Hello, namaste and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Astha and this is part 2 of the book The Storyteller's Secret. In last part we saw what is the importance of storytelling and how storytelling helps us to reach people's heart and the importance of emotions instead of facts, figures and numbers. So let's move further. So the book further says that when you back your vision with the story behind it, exactly why you chose the vision and mission for your company, people can understand easily, and yeah, it reaches people's heart. So further the author tells us about this guy. His name is Bobby Herrera, and his vision was the vision of his company was the fact that every kid, he's a leader. So his vision is that every kid deserves an opportunity to succeed in life. This is his vision. But when he tells us exactly why is this his vision, that's when it reaches our heart. So the story was, once Mr. Bobby Herrera and his brother, they were returning from a basketball match. The bus stopped at this restaurant, and all the players, they went out. They went out for dinner and stuff like that, and they did not have any money, his brother and Bobby. So they sat back in the bus. So one of the parents came up to them and was like, how about I buy you guys a dinner? No one has to know about it. I'll just buy you guys dinner. In return, when you become successful, make sure that you make difference to someone's life and be a reason for someone's smile. So that is exactly why this person has the vision that every kid deserves an opportunity to succeed. So that's how storytelling helps. Actually, I have heard that self-help books are quite unpopular because they say same thing over and over again. In this book also we are seeing that basically what the author is trying to say is the fact that storytelling is extremely important, and now he's just telling us all the different stories in which how storytelling reaches our heart. So next one is, so the first trick to storytelling is storytelling. The secret to storytelling is share personal pain for strong emotional bond and connection with your audience or your employees or anyone. Something personal pain, something that happened to you which hurt you, or someone's unexpected kindness that reached your heart and you were like, wow, someone helped me. I want to be someone who helps other people in future. So share moments like that, share moments like those, because everyone goes through times like that. And one more thing that the author says is, he shares one of the story where there's this great storyteller. Every time he's talking, he will speak about his mom, grandmom, siblings, friends, neighbors. So the author asked him, why you do that? So he was like, to create an emotional bond, to create an emotional connection, because mom, dad, friends, siblings, everyone has them. So you can bond over things like this very easily. So and then they talk about Aristotle. So Aristotle, he was a Greek philosopher, and he has several philosophical thoughts on how stories shall be written. He has written this book named Poetics, in which he shares what the protagonist should be like, what the antagonist should be like. So yeah, he is basically telling you how to write a good story. So he says that whenever you're writing a good story, it shall consist of three parts, that is pathos, logos and ethos. Pathos is emotional story, logos is facts, data and information, and ethos is evidence. Okay, Aristotle. So And as the author is saying that in order to create an emotional bond and connection, you shall tell the audience and the people that you're listening to your story about something personal, some emotional pain, or someone's unexpected kindness that happened to you. I have seen leaders doing this, leaders, actors, whenever they are saying something, they would talk about a personal failure that happened to them, or they talk about how poor they were. Even if their family had a personal choco, they are like, oh, I was so poor, I can't tell you. I don't get that. So maybe you should only tell a personal pain story if you actually went through something painful. You shouldn't just, it's like making fun of others. If you belong to a very well-to-do family, from a very well-to-do family, and you act as if, oh my god, I have seen so much misery, so much pain, so much poverty that I can't even tell you. I don't get it. I've seen a lot of people doing that. Prime ministers. So, okay. This reminds me of one of the incidents in our philosophy class. Our teacher was, he was teaching us about a German philosopher, Immanuel Kant. So Kant, his father was a saddle maker, the one on the horse, yeah. So he was saying that Kant belonged to a very poor family, and then he said, poor from their standards. From our standards, he was extremely rich. So next. Then the author talks about a motivational speaker. His name is Tony Robinson. So how Tony Robinson, I think a lot of us have heard about his name. He has also written some famous book. I think it's Can't Hurt Me, I'm not sure. So he, whenever he's talking, he gives personal example that I belonged to abusive household. My mom was an alcoholic. In my 20s I became a millionaire. I lost all my fortune and then reacquired it through hard work. So that's all. And then he tells about an act of kindness that someone did to him, wherein he says that there was this time on Thanksgiving he didn't have the money to buy meat, and someone left groceries on a stranger left groceries on the doorstep, and he never forgot that act of kindness, and he was like, yeah, someday I want to be a reason for someone else's smile. Next. So in order to create an emotional bond with the audience or whoever is listening to you, you should express your story about pain, poverty, struggle, despair, etc. You are empowered by your experience only when you develop the courage to embrace your backstory. Share lessons of struggle, change story, change your life, don't relive it, and prevent it from achieving greatness. The power in personal legend. This is the title of next chapter. The power in personal legend. You need to know what sparks the light. This is a quote. You need to know what sparks the light in you so that you can illuminate others, illuminate the world. And now we are going to read a story about Oprah Winfrey. So Oprah Winfrey is a famous talk show host, and she is super famous. Recently, I mean a year or two ago, she took Priyanka Chopra's interview. Yeah. So we will read the story about her struggle, how exactly she became the famous host that she is today. So Oprah Winfrey, her favorite book is I Know Why Caged Birds Sing by Maya Angelou. It is Maya Angelou's biography. So Oprah Winfrey, her parents were teen parents, so they didn't wanted a kid, but still Oprah Winfrey was born. They didn't want her responsibilities, so they left her with her grandma. Her grandma looked after her. She looked after her. She encouraged her to read. She started with Bible. and by the age of 3 she started her public speaking journey. She would recite, she had, I guess, memorized the Bible, and she would recite the verses from Bible. And yeah, so the journey to the roads to the riches wasn't an easy one. She suffered from poverty, racism, sexual abuse. She got scholarships, she became a famous reporter, but then she realized that this isn't really something that she wants to do with her life. She didn't like reporting. She enjoyed talking to people, so she became a famous talk show host. Her famous quote is, "Wherever you are, that's your platform, your stage, your circle of influence, your talk show, and that is exactly where your power lies." Next, okay, so the sections ahead are basically about treating employees with love, respect, and dignity, which is extremely important. So here we are going to read a story about Howard Schultz. He is a CEO, or maybe was a CEO of Starbucks. His quote is, "The more uninspiring your origin, the more likely you are to use your imagination and invent the world where everything seems possible." So he was extremely poor. They didn't have too much money when he was a child. He was very poor. They didn't have too much money. His dad used to suffer misery. His dad was a diaper salesman. One day he had an accident wherein he broke his ankle, and he always saw his dad being treated not being treated very well. So his only goal in life was, when he will be in a position to make difference, he will treat people with dignity and respect. And that is exactly what was the mission of his company, to build a company where people are treated with dignity and respect. And that is extremely important in today's day and age, because I have seen a lot of reputed institutions who are into coaching and teaching and things like that. Still, they do not respect their staff. They are always overworked, underpaid, and not respected. Because why? Because they are replaceable. So yeah, they need to learn lesson from this story. So the CEO of Starbucks, Howard Schultz, says that we are not in coffee business, we are rather in a people's business. And he has made it a point that they treat their employees nicely. They make sure that they are getting the insurance. Even the part-time, who are working part-time, they are getting insurance, health insurance, life insurance, and stock options, dignity, respect, stuff like that. So he believes that being benevolent, that is kind and nice towards employees, isn't really an added cost. Employees are a powerful energizer. If you treat your employees well, they treat your customers well. If they treat your customers well, your business grows. Yeah, next. As I mentioned earlier, that this section is going to be about treating your employees with dignity and respect. So the next story took place in the city of Texas city, Austin. So the quote here is, "Let your heart, sweetheart, be the compass when you are lost." So once what happened, the city of Austin hit flood. So it was a worst flood in 6 years. The street became roaring rivers. The streets became roaring rivers, and there was a shop there. The shop got all ruined, and the whole stuff in the shop got ruined because of the flood. And the shop didn't had any kind of insurance or anything, but they always treated their employees and the customers extremely well. After the flood, they saw that there were employees and customers who were volunteering to volunteering to help the shop get restarted. They came with mops, buckets, and shovels to clean the shop. And here the shopkeeper is saying that love, devotion, and loyalty of employees and customer doesn't just comes to normal companies. It comes to companies who are unusual and extraordinary, who treat people like people, who treat people with love, dignity and respect. So treating people well is the key. So yeah, they say that the vision of this shop was their higher vision to let people know what you put in your body makes difference to your health and the health of a planet as a whole. Good. Let your mission be the competitive advantage. If you can't tell it, you can't sell it. And the next section is about violating the expectations. In this the author says that don't do the expected, do something that has never been seen before. For example, he gives us an example of Bill Gates. Once he was doing a TED presentation on mosquitoes and malaria. Yeah. So how did he violated the expectations? He released the mosquitoes in the audience and told them to experience it, and told them that how sharks only kill small percentage of people, whereas mosquitoes do end up harming a lot of human beings. And other way of violating the expectations is, once Bill Gates only, he drank water that was sewage water 5 minutes ago, introducing a brilliant machine that could convert the poop water into a drinkable water within 5 minutes. So the author says that our brains are trained to look for brilliant and new, something that stands out. Human brain can't ignore novelty, credibility, attractiveness, persuasiveness increases. Okay. What you don't understand can and does hurts you. Here the author is talking about how to present your ideas in a way, how to package it in a way that seems attractive So here the author is talking about a neurological disorder, that is ADHD. ADHD is attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. This is a neurological disorder which is characterized by impulsivity, hyperactivity, distractibility and lack of concentration, stuff like that. So he says that when you let people know that child has ADHD, and you mention these characteristics, like he's very impulsive, he's very hyperactive all the time, he can't concentrate, he's always distracted in class, people take tension, what's gonna become of my child. But if you repackage the same idea in a way that sounds attractive, and you're like, it's okay, I can treat my kid. So instead of saying all this, if you say ADHD is like having a Ferrari engine for a brain with bicycle brakes, strengthen the brake and you have a champion. People with ADHD are inventors and innovators, the movers and the doers, who have built America and are great leaders. The ones who have built are the ones who are responsible for greatness. So these are both same ideas, but it's all about how you package your ideas that matters. And then the author talks about the concept of analogy. Analogy is basically, it's a powerful means of persuasion in ancient Greek. It facilitates understanding. It is basically when you compare two things that are alike. For example, you can say ADHD is like popcorn machine. That is, tons of thoughts are just popping up at the same time. Or ADHD is like a child in a picnic. The child keeps running from one place to another. He just can't seem to settle. Things like that. And then author shares, and then the author talks about this vaccine. Its name is Mijal. Okay, so it was this vaccine. It would cure some illness, and it was extremely important for children to get vaccinated with this vaccine. But there were people who were spreading rumor. There were people who were spreading rumor that this vaccine causes autism, but it wasn't really the case. There was this model who said that this vaccine caused my son autism. And when people, the scientist asked her, what proof do you have? Science doesn't really believe in all that. I don't think the vaccine caused your kid autism. Then she says, my son is my science. And then, yeah. So they had to spread the awareness, because people were extremely scared that what if this vaccine actually causes autism to our kids. People were scared. So you know how in our country they have this advertisement for tobacco and alcohol. They show the story of Mukesh. Mukesh is suffering from this thing. He can't live anymore because he did this. So that is exactly what they use the same kind of advertisement strategy, where they would show people who did get vaccinated with the vaccine and who didn't get vaccinated with the vaccine. And the ones who didn't get vaccinated with the vaccine would say, I wish I had gotten my child vaccinated with this. Now he's suffering from this illness. So that's also a way of fabricating a story. And then there's a quote. There's no limit to what a man can do and where he can go if they do not mind who gets the credit. And I think I should just end it over here. So this has been okay, I guess. We are almost halfway through the book, and as we can see that it's not easy to read the whole self-help book in one go. So I'm done halfway, and I will continue this book after a month or weeks. So let's just summarize exactly what have we learned up until now. So we are halfway through the book, and everything gets narrowed down to the fact that talk about your personal story. Start with your mom, dad, grandma, siblings, neighbors, teachers, friends, because everyone has them and can relate to them. An incident of kindness or unkindness that has impacted you, because everyone meets people who are either very kind to them or unkind to them, and everyone can relate to stories like those. And yeah, share stories share story that why exactly have you chosen the mission or vision that you've chosen. That would go a long way, and people can relate to all that. And second thing is, if they are laughing, they are listening. Humor enhances the learning. Humor enhances the learning abilities. Passion goes long way. Confidence, practice, and relentless optimism is extremely important. Listen to your intuition, and that's it. See you. Bye. Have a great day. Thank you.